All right, 213 divided by 3. How many times does 3 fit into 213? Does 3 fit into 2? No. Does 3 fit into 21? Yes, it fits in 7 times. And 7 times 3 is 21, the remainder of 0. I bring down my 3. How many times does 3 fit into 3? It fits in 1 time. My answer is 71. 1/4 divided by 2 is the same as 1/4 times the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. My answer is 1/8. 9 divided by 1/3 is the same as 9 times the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3/1. So 9 times 3 is 27. 1 times 1 is 1. My answer is 27. 2,375 times 6. So in this case, the 6 is going to be multiplied with every number. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 3 is 45. So I put a 5 here. I'm going to carry my 4 over. 6 times 3 is 18, plus the 4 is 22. 6 times 2, the last multiplication, is 12, plus those 2 is 14. My answer is 14,250. 6,742 times 23. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21, plus that 1 is 22. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Now, when I move to the next place value here, there's 2, I need to add a 0. And then I multiply again with all the other digits. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1, 13. Take all these digits, I add them together. 6, 6, 10, 5, 5, 1. 155,066. How many times does 4 fit into 102? Well, 4 doesn't fit into 1, but it fits into 10 2 times. And 2 times 4 is 8. My remainder is 2. Bring down the 2. 4 goes into 22. 5 times to be 20. A remainder of 2. Now, I'm not done yet. I still have this remainder, so I need to bring down another 0. And when I do that, I add a decimal point. And then I continue with what I was doing. How many times does 4 fit into 20? It fits in 5 times, so I'm done. How many times does 31 fit into 713? 31 doesn't fit into 7, but it does fit into 71 twice. And 2 times 31 is 62. I have a remainder of 9. Bring down my 3. How many times does 31 go into 93? It actually fits in 3 times perfectly. There's no remainder, so I'm done. With this one, adding decimals, I need to make sure that my place values are aligned. One way to do that is just make sure your decimals are on top of each other. This way, when I add my tenths together, they are 3 tenths plus 4 tenths is 7 tenths, and then 6 plus 7 is 13. Done. Same one here, 71.8. Now with 7.69, my decimal needs to be on top of each other so that I add up my place values correctly. So it's 7.69. Now when you have something like this, you can just add a 0 here as a placeholder. Then I just add 0 plus 9 is 9. 8 plus 6 is 14. 7 plus 1 plus 1 is 9. And then 7 goes here. My decimals just stay on top of each other. That's my answer. 1.3 minus 0.6. I cannot do 3 minus 6, so I'm just going to have to borrow from the 1. And 13 minus 6 is 7/10. 0 is their final answer. 39.53. Here, with all of these, I'm just checking to see if you know your place value. If I'm subtracting 5.8, my 5 has to go here because it's right above my decimal, or right next to my decimal, and the 8 goes here in my tens place. Now if I'm subtracting, I can just add a 0 here. 3 minus 0 is 3. 5 minus 8 I can't do, so I have to borrow. Now I have 15 minus 8, which is 7. Decimal stays here. 8 minus 5 is 3, and the 3 just comes straight down, 33.73. A trick with this one is I just multiply without the decimal. 5.9 times 3.3, I could just do without the decimal and say 59 times 33. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Now, because I'm going to the next place value, I add a 0. 3 times 9, 27. And 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2, 17. Now, when I add these together, I'm going to get 7, 14, 9, and 1. Now, what you can think about, because we got rid of the decimals before, my decimal was here and here. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 1, 2. So my answer is 19.47. Now with this multiplication, 7.3 times 27.4, a really convenient way to multiply is to put the digit or the number with the more digits on top and the number with less digits on bottom. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. So I have 27.4 times 7.3. Just ignore the decimals at first. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Now next place value over, so I add a 0. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 2 is 51. And then 7 times 2 is 14, plus 5 more, 19. Now I add it all together, I have 2, 0, 0, 0, 2. So looks like 20002, and then I have to think about my decimals. I count in once, twice. My answer is 200.02. How many times does 8 fit into 4.68? 8 doesn't fit into 4, but it does fit into 46. 8 times 5, 5 times. With the decimal that I have here, just bring it straight up and everything else is going to be as normal. The decimal is going to go right above where between that 4 and the 6. And 8 times 5 is 40. So 46 minus 40 is 6. And I bring down my 8. How many? Did I make a mistake? Oh, this is a 4. Sorry, this is a 4 here from there. So let's bring down the 4. How many times does 8 fit into 64? It fits in 8 times with no remainder. I'm done. 0.3 into 6. Now, the easiest way to solve this is I need to get rid of that decimal. So I'm going to multiply by 10, which gives me 3. When I multiply this by 10, my 6 also has to be multiplied by 10, which means is how many times does 3 fit into 60? It fits in 20 times. Greatest common factor. My factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. My factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 12. These are all the numbers I multiply to make each of those numbers. These are all my factors. What is the greatest number that they share? They both share a 4, so my answer is 4. my multiples of 4 and 5. 4, my multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. My multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What is the least common multiple? What's the first number that they share? The first number that they share is 20. 2.3 or 23.5 times 10, I'm just moving my decimal place over once to the right. It's 235. If I divide by 10, my decimal is just moving once to the left, so it's going to be 0.467.